Hi, boys and girls. Miss Belanca here. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the story elements that your teacher has been going over with you because good readers recognize and they're able to tell when they read a fiction book. Remember, fiction means fake. When they read a fake book, they're able to tell the story elements, which are our characters, our setting, our problem, and then the solution. I have a book here called Mother Bruce. And I want you to think about the title of this book. I'm noticing right away the words Mother Goose, but Goose is crossed out and Bruce has been written in. I'm wondering why that happened. I'm wondering why the title of this book isn't Mother Goose, but Mother Bruce. I'm also looking at the picture that I see on this title. I'm guessing this might be our character Bruce. And I'm noticing that his face does not look like a happy face. This is a face that is either worried or mad. So I have some questions as I'm thinking about this story. Why is this Mother Bruce and not Mother Goose? And why is our character, who I think is named Bruce, upset or mad about something? So, as good readers, we need to think about what we see in the title and then also what we see on the cover of the book. Now that I've thought about that, we need to think about the story elements that we're reading. So, as I'm reading, I'm going to be sharing with you when I notice things about the character, the setting, the problem, and the solution. Let's open up and do some reading. Mother Bruce by Ryan Higgins. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump. I know the word grump means if you're grumpy, it means you're kind of mad and not happy with things. He did not like rain. He did not like sunny days. He did not like cute little animals. Ooh, I'm going to stop because as a reader, I need to think about some of these things. I need to think about Bruce is our character. I know he's our character now. I've read a couple of pages and the author has let me know he's our main character. He's the person or the animal in the story that it's going to be about. I also have to think what I know about Bruce. I know he's grumpy, which makes sense because of what I saw on the cover. So I'm wondering now, what is going to happen with Grumpy Bruce? Bruce only liked one thing: eggs. He collected them from all over the forest. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. Here's our talking bubble or speech bubble, what the characters say to each other. I'm going to stop again because I think I have some information for another story element. This story element is my setting. Remember, the setting is where or when the story takes place. I have a really good clue up here because it says he collected them from all over the forest. So I know that he must live in the forest if that's where he's collecting his food from. So I know my character is Bruce, and I know that he lives in a forest. So my character and setting I understand that. And the more that I think about those things, the better I'm going to understand this story. Let's keep reading. But Bruce didn't eat eggs raw like other bears. Instead, he cooked them into fancy recipes that he found on the internet. One day, Bruce came across a recipe for hard-boiled goose eggs drizzled with honey salmon sauce. So he went to get some of the ingredients. First, he caught a few salmon. Then he collected honey from the local beehive. He liked to support local businesses, you see. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a visit. Are these eggs free range and organic? At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling. But the fire in his stove fizzled. So he went to get more wood. When Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. As good readers, I need to predict. Remember, a prediction is you're thinking about what could possibly come next in the story. What would make sense? You think about your prediction by thinking about the things that came before or happened before in the story. I'm making a prediction that it's going to have something to do, the unwelcome surprise is going to have something to do with the eggs that he's trying to hard boil. Let's see. Mama! Bruce became the victim of mistaken identity. Uh-oh. I'm going to stop here because I think I just figured out the problem in this story. While he was gone, the eggs hatched. And now he has chicks that think he is the mama. That's going to be a problem for Bruce because we know he's grumpy, so he's not going to want to be mama to these chicks. Bruce wanted hard-boiled eggs, not goslings. Oh, I'm going to stop because I thought they were chicks at first, but now I know that these are goslings. See, my thinking changes, and good readers change their thinking whenever they get new pieces of information from the story. He supposed he could settle for buttered gosling on toast, but for some reason, he had lost his appetite. Bruce scooped up the little geese and stomped back to their nest. I will have to ask Miss Goose about her return policy, only to find Mrs. Goose had flown south early. Bruce left the goslings there anyway and went back home. I'm wondering if he thinks maybe he's solving his problem this way. I wonder if this is the way the problem gets solved in the book. Does he leave the eggs there and then he doesn't have the problem of being someone's mama? I don't know, we'll have to see. Mama, mama, but he was followed. All right, as a reader, I'm going to stop and think to myself, that did not solve the problem. He tried to solve his problem, and sometimes characters do that, but it did not solve it. The goslings are still with him, calling him mama. Bruce was very stern and said things like, go away, and I am not your mother. And also, I liked you better when you were eggs. Roar! Bruce could take it no longer and became extra grumpy with them. It didn't work. Goslings always follow their mother, even if she is a he and he is a bear. Mama. Oh, and I can tell by looking at this page, he is still not happy. This is a problem in our story for Bruce, our character. Bruce was stuck with them. He tried to make the best of it. It was hard work. Ew, yuck. There he is. He's so tired taking care of these goslings that he is sleeping. I am noticing that he's starting to change a little bit in the story, and characters will change. At first, he really was grumpy and he did not want to be their mama, but now he is trying to take care of them. So I do need to make a note as a reader when I'm thinking about that our character is changing in our story. As the seasons passed, Bruce watched the pesky goslings grow older. Here it says, annoying baby geese, stubborn teenage geese, boring adult geese. Then one fall afternoon, he saw other goose families flying south. Finally, he'd be able to be rid of the geese, and he could take a long winter nap. Bruce explained migration. For those of you that aren't quite sure what migration is, it means that when animals leave a colder climate or a colder place and they go to a warmer place. So that's what he's trying to explain to the geese, because geese are animals that migrate. But they didn't listen. Oh my goodness. I'm going to stop because as a reader, he's now tried a second way to solve his problem, and that is to explain to the geese that they should fly somewhere warmer. But it doesn't look like they're ready to leave him, and I think that because they're in coats and hats, so they're getting ready to stay with their mama. Bruce needed the geese to leave, so he got creative. Uh-oh, I don't think that's the way to solve that problem. Nothing worked. These geese would not leave Bruce. Sigh. That's what a sigh is. So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take his geese into town. I'm wondering, where are they going? They boarded a bus and migrated, remember, moved to a warmer climate, to Miami. Now, every winter, Bruce and his geese headed south together. They lazed about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice cold lemonade, while Bruce dreams of new recipes that don't hatch. Oh, boys and girls, I need to stop here for a minute because finally my problem has been solved. The solution was that Bruce migrated and went to a warmer climate with the geese. Here's my favorite page of the book. Here's one of the geese. Here's a turtle. Mama. Oh my goodness. I'm wondering if this author is going to write in the next book and maybe one of the geese will be the characters. All right, my friends, as you're reading, I do want you to think about things like who are the characters? Where is the setting? What is the problem? And what's the solution to that problem? Thinking about those things helps you better understand that story you're reading. All right, happy reading.